Hi guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Orchard Corset 411. This is the black satin with the red satin lacing. I do like this one. It does fit me pretty well. I just have a few issues with it, along like with my 201. It does tend to cut into my hip bones, which causes pressure and pain and discomfort, which causes me to not be able to wear it for very long. I can lace it tighter than my 201, but it does still cut in, so I can't wear it for extended periods of time. So I'm hoping my 426 that I'll be ordering soon will be helping to alleviate that issue. Alright, so again, red satin lacing with the black satin. This is a size 32. Typically my waist, I do have a lot of squish factor, so typically my waist varies depending on hormones, stress, day-to-day stuff. It varies between a 39 and a 42, I think. 42. But like I said, I do have a lot of squish factor. I'm kind of a heavy-set person. I do have a very large chest, which is another one of my issues with it. Makes it extremely difficult to drive. But other than that, it's actually really comfortable, and I can actually, if I'm sitting for a long time while wearing it, it doesn't hurt. So typically if I'm sitting at my computer all day playing World of Warcraft or something, then I'll actually be wearing it, which actually even helps with my posture and actually helps with mild carpal tunnel that I have. So, we'll go ahead and get this put on for you. Okay, so I have it on now. Again, this is the CS 411 from Orchard Corset. I do really like how well it actually holds my baby belly, and because it does come up fairly high here on me, just I think maybe because my breasts are so big, it actually helps that pudge that comes up when I bring my belly up into it. It really helps control the pudge. It does kind of form to like the bottom of my boobs. Typically when I sit down in this one, I do tend to feel a little suffocated the tighter I have it. So I'm hoping when I get my 426 that because it kind of scoops a little more, I'm hoping that some of that issue will kind of dissipate. So I did have to, when I relaced it, I did have to move the basically where the tie would sit at the waist. I had to move it up because usually when they lace it, they have the pull loops resting at the waist tape, which on me was actually just a little too low. So I actually did have to move it up. Because I think it was like right about here. So I just had to move it up one loop, so that it actually forms to my actual waist. And this is right where my waist is at. Just real quick so you can see. This one I do love because I can tighten it more than my 201, because it does kind of go over my hips more. The boning right here does still put a lot of pressure on my hips a little bit. This boning right here. So, if I'm not really sitting in it, wearing it for an extended period of time does tend to hurt a little bit. This one does hurt the ribs a little bit more, but I've noticed the more that I wear it, the less it hurts. I imagine it's just getting my ribs to kind of reshape to this hourglass figure. I really wish I could wear this one at work, but again, it does not help me move very well. Like, I can't really bend over as well as I can in the 201. and I do work in fast food, so it kind of tends to be a little more difficult. If all I had to do was, sit there at a desk all day, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, other than that, I really do like the shape that this one gives. I did wear it to dinner recently. Unfortunately, I did have to take it off during dinner because the place that we went, the booth that they sat us in was not shaped well enough for someone who is corset training. Like the seat kind of did this number and scooped up, and then the back was just straight. It was just like a straight board, and it was so horribly uncomfortable. And then my boobs, I'm a really short person, so my chest was kind of up against the table, so I couldn't like scoot up anymore. So it made it kind of difficult. For that one, I did have to slouch, so I had to take it off, unfortunately. But other than that, I do really like this one. It just, like I said, if I'm trying to drive or something, or if I'm out somewhere to eat, it makes it kind of difficult because my chest is so large, it pushes them up so much when I sit down. It just kind of suffocates me a little bit, so. But, yes, this one I can lace tighter than my 201. So I still have a little bit of spacing here between the modesty panel, but it works. So again, that was the 411 black satin with the red satin lacing. I did notice that when I had to relace it and actually move the pull loops up an eyelet, that the top part of the corset became a little harder to lace, because with the red satin, as soon as I tighten it and I let go to grab the pull loop and tighten it, it releases everything that I've just tightened. So it makes it kind of difficult to tighten it, which is also not really helping with my carpal tunnel. So I'm thinking in the future I may have to order some of the nylon cording for this one, because I feel like they would grab a little better and it would hold the amount that I just tightened enough, with enough time for me to grab the pull loops and actually, pull it all the way out. So that's future idea. So if you guys have any questions, you feel free to leave a comment.